Well, here we are in the Love Good Music studio in Nashville, Tennessee, with some very special guests. As usual, my name is Jimmy Mitchell, and we have with us today Cimorelli, 6 amazing, beautiful sisters here to tell us all about their life and their career and what it's like being so amazing. What's up, y'all? Guys, it is such a pleasure. Seriously, I know we've kind of been familiar with each other, maybe at a distance, since you guys moved here 7 months ago. Is that about right?
About right. Yeah.
So, first of all, how you liking Nashville, being from Southern California?
We love it.
Yeah. First of all, we're from Northern California.
There's
There's a distinction.
There's a distinction.
But
we
came
moved
here from
Southern California.
Yeah. Lived there for a few years.
And we are all happier here, and we have all blossomed in many ways here.
Yes.
So I'm very happy that we are here now.
So what is it about Nashville you think so far?
Well,
in my opinion, this is Danny. Mainly it's the people.
yeah.
Like I don't know. I made maybe 3 friends when I was in Southern
In 5
California
years.
over the course of 5 years that I still talk to. Like literally 3 people. But here I've made so many more friends, and it was so easy, and it's just so much more open here.
There's a sense of warmth. I feel that people have welcoming
and community.
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 Feels like people are there for you.
But
and help
it's
each
not
other out.
it's not like some places in Southern California where it's a community where if you
wait,
weren't born
there
into
was-
it, then you gotta go.
There was no community in LA. There was
But-
cliques.
Yeah, okay.
There were so many cliques. It was like an overgrown high school.
It is.
But yeah,
Wow.
we love Nashville.
Yeah, that's very different. My experience in Nashville is very similar, that everybody's got an open door and an open heart, and they just want to build up this beautiful thing that
Yes,
we call
open
Nashville.
hearts.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
that's it.
I love it.
Okay, so I just want to hear, where did this whole thing begin? I know you guys are from a big family. There's 11 kids
11
total.
kids.
I'm imagining a mom and a dad who are still madly in love with each other. I'm guessing, after all these years. What's it like?
Oh, it's really, really fun and very unique.
Loud.
Yes.
It's
Loud,
chaotic.
loud.
I got to see the most since I'm the oldest, so
Yeah, she did.
got to see more years than them.
I missed how many years did I miss?
Okay, this is to give you a really weird
Wait, I
example.
just want to say that this is us trying to do a good job of not talking over each other.
Yeah.
That gives you a peek into our home life.
We're trying really hard to let each other talk, and it's really hard. But especially for me, because I'm the
We
oldest of the
understand
girls.
the 6 conversations
Oh,
at once,
there she
but
goes
nobody
again.
else does.
To give you an example of what it's like with a big family, Danny is sitting across from me. She's 15, I'm 25, but I changed her diapers and fed her her baby food. Danny's thrown up on me.
Oh,
I've
wow.
burped her. I've held her. It is a very strange thing. Now she's taller than me, and that's just one of my sisters.
Okay, to give you, and here's another picture to paint. There's always music. There's always people either playing music on
Eating.
through speakers or on the piano. There's always food everywhere. People are always
People
cooking.
making food,
You put a
eating
pizza on the
food.
counter and it's gone
It goes
within 5 seconds.
so fast.
So fast.
There's
There's
always stuff going
There's
on.
a lot of hiding food.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
When you live in the same house.
Oh,
kinda
yes,
scary.
you gotta find your hiding spot, the top shelf. But then people will find it. You gotta find a new hiding
Everyone's
spot.
got their own hiding spot.
That's so great. So what is it like then, obviously being such a musical family, growing up, did your parents teach you guys how to sing, how to play?
Well, our mom has a master's in music, and she taught us to sing when we were really young. She wanted to see how young kids could learn to harmonize. So we were pretty much doing, and she also started a choir at our church specifically for us. So it was her passion for music. But our dad's also he's a contractor, but he loves music. He's just an appreciator of music. So it was interesting having she was trained and he was just a lover. So it was always on in our house in different ways between classical from her and classic rock from him.
He blasts music all the time and then sings really loud randomly. It's
funny.
really weird. So we do the same thing. I think he sings really loud randomly way more than our mom ever does.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
our mom
Honestly,
never
I did.
sings
Our dad will just
randomly.
be in the kitchen cooking, and then he'll just start singing like one of our songs. He'll be like, "This renegade's not changing." And he'll sing it
Yeah, I think it's
really
a little
high.
lower.
No, he sings really
He does sing
high, and he imitates us. But
It's so
But then
funny.
it made us kind of not scared to just sing randomly.
Yeah.
I remember we'd be at our friends' houses all the time. It's happened to us all the time, and we'd be singing randomly, and friends would be like, "Whoa, why are you singing?"
I'm
We're
didn't even realize I was doing
You
it.
just
Yeah.
randomly start singing a line out of nowhere, and
Yeah.
then it just happens.
Our dad always says he quote can't sing. This is me air quoting, but he actually can, and it's a lie.
It's so funny. So what are people's reactions when they find out that not only, are you guys amazing, beautiful, wholesome, all of these things, you've got these harmonies that are just airtight, but then they find out you're sisters, and from what I can tell, you get along really well. What are most people's reactions to that phenomenon?
It's mainly something really dramatic.
They
like,
love us or they hate us.
Yes.
People love or hate us.
Yeah, it's
Because they're like,
reaction.
that's too much.
No, some people think it's
positivity.
fake. Like they think that we secretly hate each other, which is not true at all.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of skeptics out there. I mean, how could it be this good? You know?
Well, we're not perfect.
Yeah, we definitely fight. We definitely
No,
fight.
we fight, but we're pretty respectful about it, or else this wouldn't be working. Like,
Yeah.
I've been really, I read a lot about like business and running a business and all the stuff that I do, and I had to really like learn to be respectful because I was not. I'm really kind of like a dictator, so I've been working on it a lot to make this into like a team and to let everyone have their voice instead of me like being the dictator.
It works out
So
nicely now.
I've had to work on that a lot, and we've had we had to work on a lot of things within our group, and we do every day.
So before we dig into the music, I would love to just hear what makes each of you tick. You know,
Ooh,
when it's not music getting you out of bed in the morning, what is it?
start with
What
the-
motivates you to
What are our
not
other
snooze
passions?
We can
that
just
third
start-
and fourth time?
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna say since I have so
Say your
many.
name.
Oh, this is Danny. Sorry. Since I have so many things that I love, like I'm gonna say generally anything like visual, so like hair, makeup, and then also like interior design and like decorating stuff like that.
How did I do upstairs in my house? How's it
Oh,
look?
it's pretty. It's pretty good.
I'd like to think it has a little bit of a manly edge to it,
It does.
Yes.
but some artistic sensibilities.
agree.
Yeah,
And it all kind of goes together.
Okay, great.
This is Amy. Well, okay, I have very different sides to me. I have the one side that's very like rule following, law driven, like I love politics and stuff like that. But then I have another side of me that's very weird and hippie like and creative where I like to color all day long and I found a new passion for making collages, and I'm making my friend a collage for her phone background. She's like, I want it to be like emo, but not like My Chemical Romance, but like emotional. I'm like, I know exactly what you want. So I'm making her a collage.
That is so great. So, Amy, are you into the whole political scene right now? And do you
Yes.
follow the debates? And
Yes.
do you have any favorite candidates?
Well, yeah. I'm just I like to keep my opinions to myself at the moment. I
probably
will
really
not
smart.
for my life, but
Yeah.
for right now,
We just have a policy. We don't talk about political stuff yet, but we're probably going to
one
be.
day.
Actually, I'm definitely going to be coming out of there.
Me
at some
too.
point.
Well, that's great. I mean, I went from watching the Republican debate last night to seeing Hillary Clinton on the late shows, and they were all hilarious. I mean, it was just pure entertainment last night.
Honestly,
So
it's
I
so
will
funny.
say it's the most interesting political race we've had in
I
a very
agree.
long
It is
time.
so
interesting.
interesting, which is
Yeah.
great. It's getting
It's
everyone
kind of like
into
a brave
it.
new world.
All right.
that's so great. Lauren, how about you?
Well, this is Lauren. I like drawing and painting a lot and like writing, just like anything creative. I like a lot.
Awesome.
This is Lisa, and I like. If I wasn't a musician, I'd be a makeup artist. Or I'm not really that into hair anymore, but I used to be. But besides, hair and makeup, and then what else do I like? Painting on occasion, nail art.
She's actually
Cats.
she's like an
Cats.
artist. with
I
her makeup.
love cats. I have a cat that
Ooh.
sleeps on my head. We share a pillow.
Wow, you're not allergic, obviously.
No.
No,
I am.
she,
and I live there.
When-
So is she.
when Lisa went, when Lisa slept over at our parents' house, her cat decided to sleep on my head,
Oh.
and I actually kind of
He would
enjoyed
never
it.
dare.
It was
Yeah,
really
but he
weird.
loves me more. He knows I'm the alpha, and I feed him and I keep him alive. So I'm like the opposite of allergic. I'm allergic to not having him around.
Mhm. I appreciate cats. They're independent. They're pretty mischievous. They're not nearly as needy or emotionally
They're
exhausting
kind
as
of
dogs.
evil sometimes,
you know?
though.
I am a cat. That's
Let's
why
hear
I
it.
hate them.
Okay, on to you, Christina.
Okay, so basically, when I'm not being like a businessman, which is actually accurate, I think, 'cause I'm kind of manly in our business stuff, not being like running this whole thing, then I'm doing one of two things. Well, general broad things. I'm either being like a librarian on the one side, and I'm reading nonstop. I'm researching. I'm taking notes. I'm writing. I'm like learning everything I possibly can. Or I'm on a rampage about being childlike. So I'm doing anything that's fun that everyone forgot about or said you're not allowed to do when you're 25, and I'm just having fun and being free and energetic and being a child. I'm the most childlike out of all of us, which is weird because I'm also the man running this. I'm
That
saying
is
that
so
because I
cool.
act like a man, not because whatever.
Yeah.
So you got a multifaceted, well-developed personality.
It's very
sounds like it.
confusing for me.
Now, what is it about being childlike? I just recently heard someone say, I want to be more like a child because they're utterly transparent. and they utterly live in the present moment, which I thought were two pretty good descriptors of a child. What is it for you
Okay,
that you like?
I can tell you exactly what it is.
I mean, that's
children
part of it.
throw their hands in the air and they scream and they say like, "I love this." When's the last time you saw someone in their 20s throw their hands up and go, "I love insert whatever"? When is the last time? I do that all the time. Because I love that. And I think everyone just gets really, really old, even though they're not really old. They act like they're like, I don't know.
105.
I just don't like it. As I'm getting older, I'm trying to like cope with getting older. And I'm like, because everyone in the 20s, like I'm 25, they just have this thing like trying to be adults and whatnot, which we are, you know. But I don't think it has to be the way that everyone's doing
It has
it.
to be depressing.
Yeah, it seems kind of depressing. So I'm like,
Adulting.
I don't want to do that. What's the alternative? And then I'm like, oh, you be mature, responsible, but you also get back in touch with what was fun when you were younger that you abandoned because you're trying to be old.
Christina, do you ever read any G.K. Chesterton by chance?
No.
So he's one of my favorites.
So I need to get on.
Well, British journalist and brilliant guy. Used to write for the London Times and was just very well known in his day and age for debating people publicly. And he was an atheist who ended up becoming a Christian and really read himself, I think, into a life of faith. But he maintained all these friendships with the leading atheists of the time, and they would debate publicly. And it was like watching like the hypothetical Trump-Clinton debate in my mind. You know, it's just like so ridiculous and funny, but there's going to be some like real truth, you know, that's going to be discussed. And so with Chesterton, he used to say that, you know, our Father in heaven is younger than us because we have grown old. We have grown old in our
love this.
selfishness or in our whatever.
Yes,
you know?
I love this.
So
The
clap.
biggest thing is bitterness for me.
Yeah.
That's what I see people get in as they get older. So I try to like say what I'm feeling in the moment because I do not want to get into that. But I just went on a tangent. Kath, you can get to your.
I'm really passionate about writing. Like that's my favorite thing. It's since I was a little kid, I've always loved writing poetry. And my biggest goal in life is to publish books. Like I've always wanted to do that, and I plan on doing like nonfiction and poetry after like music isn't as busy, I guess, or maybe simultaneously. And I also really love people. Like I'm very passionate about relationships, and I love to be a part of the community and like try to like I don't know make a mark, like help people out, like really connect people and enrich their lives through like relationship or different causes that I feel passionate about. That's like, I don't know, those
in
are
a
my
nutshell.
interests. Yeah. Me in a nutshell.
It's really funny because Christina and Catherine love to research things and then tell each other about their findings.
We
You're like,
both research.
I was researching
Because
this.
we're opposite. We're complete opposites.
We have that in common.
But when we research, we find opposite things basically about the topics, and then we're like sharing. You're like, but what about this?
Between
Oh,
us, there's a lot of
that perspective. It's
Catherine
so weird.
loves to research people and all their relationships.
Yeah.
So she'll find a person and she'll research everything she can find about them and
We'll be like, oh, I bet you
Jake-
this happened.
Or also diseases. I love researching diseases. I know that
funny.
sounds weird.
I don't like doing that. No.
It's like my hidden talent.
Well, too good. Well, tell me, what is y'all's hope in being this act called Cimorelli, this group of sisters who currently are traveling the globe with, I think, just over 1 billion YouTube combined views recently.
Yeah.
Close
Just
to 1
out of
billion.
million.
It's just remarkable the lives that are being touched by who you are and what you do on a stage, as well as I'm sure off stage. So what is y'all's hope as people come across your music, and probably most importantly, each of you as individuals and as a sisterhood?
Well, it really like changed the last year. In the beginning, honestly, like I was literally just like, I want to be really successful. And I was really driven by more like greed in the beginning. I was like, I want like fame and money when I started. And I was like, I want people to like notice me. I didn't say that outright, but in my heart, I realized looking back, like that's really what I wanted, which is what a
You
lot
were
of people
like,
know
what,
they want.
16?
Yeah, I was a teenager and I was like, that's what I really want. I want to have like nice things. I want people to like know who I am. And then as we got more and more of that, we got more into that, then I was like, this is really depressing. And I was just really unhappy and I just didn't feel good. And I just felt like I was constantly in this competition that I didn't want to be in, that I didn't know I put myself in, and I could not get out of it, constantly comparing and never feeling good enough. Even though we were doing things most people would never do that were like once in a lifetime, 1 in a million things, I felt like it wasn't good enough because where I was surrounded by everyone, it was like normal there. And it was just like, I didn't know what was going on. And then I kind of decided like, this is depressing. I need to change something. And I said to everyone, like, we need to figure out what we're doing. We need to like make this like fulfilling somehow because this is really depressing. And then we wrote a song called You're Worth It. And it was about self-worth, and it was really inspired by our own lives and what we've been through, and then also a lot of things we've heard from fans. Because I did not anticipate going into this. We didn't know social media wasn't a thing when I started. It was like a very small thing. It was like MySpace. And it was like nothing. Like I was 16 and Twitter, I didn't know that was going to be there. I didn't know we were going to have thousands and thousands of people telling us their stories and telling us about their depression and their family problems and really dark times in their lives. I had no idea I was going to have access to that. No, most people will never have access to that. And we have this on a daily basis, which is very unique, very confusing, very interesting experience. So we were kind of inspired by that, wrote the song called You're Worth It, and we performed it, and we noticed something like changed in us and in the audience, and it was like, wow, this is like a sense of purpose. And I really got more in touch with God towards the end of LA, those 5 years, and then we moved here, I got even more in touch, and that's when it really changed, is this last year I really like surrendered. 2015, for once, I didn't make any goals. I've never done that in my life. The only goal I had was I want to find like fulfillment in my career because this is depressing. And that's when we moved here, was in that year. But that's really brings me to what I want people to take away, which I finally figured out, is basically I just like pray about everything and I say like, okay, God, what do you want us to do? And I try to just go with my gut feelings. I feel like he speaks to me through gut feelings, I think. I don't know. That's what I guess. And I kind of just go with whatever it is I feel we should do. And I don't focus on success. I just say like, God will provide for us, like money-wise, all of that. He'll provide. We just need to focus on the message. And what my big thing is, we just want people to come away with like a positive feeling, to feel better about themselves, better about life, to like shed some like light into their lives. And we just want it to be a positive thing. And it's kind of, it's not like I want us to be on a pedestal, because I don't see us on a pedestal. It's not like us up here looking down at people telling them stuff. We sing these songs, we sing them to ourselves on stage, to each other on stage, to the audience, to everyone. So I just want people to feel better about themselves and to see a different side of life, a more wholesome and innocent side that gets made fun of or gets lost or that they don't know is there or is an option.
It's so beautiful. There's two things that stand out. One, that you were climbing to the heights of success in a pop music career, and you still found that there was this existential void. There was something in you that was restless and miserable,
Very
apart
restless.
from a sense of mission
Oh my gosh,
and
so
purpose,
restless.
which I think is part of the human experience across the board. The world offers us all these things that we think satisfy, but if they become our ultimate end, we're miserable. We're just miserable. So, all right, what's happening next? What are you guys anticipating for 2016?
Well, yeah, I'm not going to go through all the plans. We haven't even announced most of them yet. We're about to announce them. We have a lot. I basically made a giant list of projects this year, and I said, like, this year, 2 words are risk and impact. Those are words of the year. So we're trying to do things that feel a little risky to us, like, could we really do that? Can we really put ourselves out there in that way? That helped me determine like which projects to do. And they aren't really that crazy, but it feels like a risk when you're putting yourself out there. So we made a list of projects that are going to be really fun and really new, which I haven't announced almost any of them yet. But impact, the other big one, is about when we do every project and everything that we do, every song, every concert, we're going to all consider like, what will make the biggest impact? Is there any way we could change this video and we can add something in that will make a bigger impact? Is there anything we could say that will make a bigger impact? And we're going to try to make the biggest positive impact with every project we do, every little thing that we do this year. So I'm hoping that this year we'll really put ourselves out there. We'll get our hearts broken, because when you put yourself out there, you get your heart broken, and we'll rise up stronger and feel a lot better. We'll feel a lot more hopeful. And I'm hoping, hope is another big word of our message. We want to spread hope is what we really want to do this year. We want to make an impact by spreading hope to people. Just the idea that there is hope, or that you can get your hopes up and you're not scared of your heart breaking, because you know you will still always have hope to hold on to, that tomorrow might be better, next week, next year, whatever it is.
Yeah, and I think one of our big values is courage, and not getting necessarily attached to the outcome of what you're doing, but really just doing things with the intention of being brave. And living that way will be rewarding regardless of what happens with, you know, your hopes and dreams, the projects that you're working on, because you know you are living in a way that's courageous, and that kind of is fulfilling in itself.
Yeah, like no matter what we do this year, like whatever like tours we go on or whatever like projects we do or whatever, like even if like they all failed, for example, whatever.
Everything
If
failed.
everything failed.
Nobody went to anything.
Yeah, exactly. Then I think even like, I don't know, I think I would still be okay
We'd be
with
fine.
what happened because like the most important thing for us is like connecting with our fans and changing their lives. And we've already done so much of that and we're going to do so much more of that. So I think that's the most important thing is making some sort of difference in someone's life if it's like if it's turning out to be really negative.
Yeah.
Like making their lives more positive.
We
Like,
didn't
that's the
know
most
this.
important.
We didn't know this until we did our first concert where we sang "You're Worth It." And when you look into a teenage girl's eyes and she's like crying or looking at you like you're connecting with her and she's looking at you with this face that's like of insecurity and pain, but maybe a little bit of hope and all these mixed emotions. It's the most powerful thing. Like I can't even describe how powerful it is. And once we all experienced that, the first time we did it, we all sat backstage. We looked at each other and we were like, we couldn't even talk. We were just like, we were all speechless. And
Yeah, I
we were
remember
like,
that.
something just happened. We don't know what just happened, but we just found like what we're actually supposed to be doing with our career.
Yeah,
that was like the
Portugal or
moment.
something.
Yeah,
It was
I
in
remember.
Portugal,
It was
actually.
Portugal.
We just got off stage. We were just like,
We sat in
what
that smoky cafe.
just
Yeah.
happened?
I I remember that show because I literally was crying so hard I couldn't sing, and it was really embarrassing. But I was like, whatever, I'll just cry. Like I couldn't sing, and like for us, I think it's really important because we realized that a lot of people live their lives with all these emotions and all these underlying currents that are the same as everyone. Everyone has these underlying things like feelings like not feeling good enough and all this stuff, but nobody talks about them and nobody makes them feel like they're good enough and nobody tells them that they actually are. They just say like, oh, well, you have to do this and then you're good enough. I mean, our culture like survives off of people selling us things to make us feel better about ourselves. And like people make millions off of that. And it's like we want to help people and tell them like even if no one in their whole lives is telling them that they are worth it and they are worth being happy and they can be happy, that we want to tell them that they can. That's something that's very important to us.
Yeah.
I'm so inspired. I mean, it's not just the beauty of the music, because I have been listening to your top 10 hits on Spotify on repeat the last week or so,
Oh my gosh.
especially when I'm going on my runs. It just keeps me going, you know?
Yes!
But seriously, y'all are just wicked talented. Your music's amazing.
you.
But each of you are so incredibly beautiful. And I think that's kind of what is really standing out to me. And I'm sure anybody that meets y'all and has an opportunity like I'm having right now to see a little bit of the heart behind each of you, that kind of beauty, it does elevate the soul. It does put hope where there was once despair. So, small example, a friend of mine is a pianist, a really brilliant composer, does a lot of prison ministry. So he'll go into prisons, death row, for example, and do these concerts for men that have probably not heard live music in years and years and years. And there's this one story he always tells of an inmate who stands up in the middle of a song, completely interrupts him, and he's weeping. And he says, "Eric, thank you. I forgot what hope felt like."
Oh.
And I think that's what's happening when that middle school or high school girl is in tears in the middle of a concert, because she's suddenly brought to this very painful awareness of her woundedness and her brokenness and her desire to be loved and her desire to be beautiful. And you guys are speaking truth into a very dark and despairing world. So I just could not affirm you more in that. Yeah. It's awesome.
So nice.
So everybody who's listening, they're going to be obsessed with you on impact, like at the moment of hearing your voices and your songs. So let's just close with how we can stay in touch with you, how people can be continuing to follow you personally as well as, in your career.
All of our social media, you can pretty much look us up on any of it, but it's just Cimorelli, Cimorelli. That's our name. Our Twitter is at Cimorelli Band. Our YouTube is Cimorelli The Band. Facebook is facebook.com/Cimorelli Band. Instagram is Cimorelli Band. Snapchat is It's Cimorelli. All one word. Our Twitters are just look up our names. They'll come up.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cannot thank you guys enough for your time today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
When will you realize, baby, you're worth